It's clean.
I remember I wanted for the quit so many times, but I knew this moment would come. Now it's my time. I gotta make up for all them nights that my mama cried. I'm going in, I'm putting everything on the line. Dropped out of school to chase my dream.
Going through with that $1 million idea. It all starts with making your brand. So, what we did, Buddy and I, we always get.
It's up there what we did, honestly.
I don't know. It all starts. We go back ever since probably Nike. Not throw it on camera, cuz. People, they always asking for brothers, if we're twins, whatever. And when we came to this gym, the first time we both came in, like the first question. So we're like, we had to use this somehow. Fitness, everyday lifestyle, and just being ourselves was probably the three things that we thought we could utilize in starting the brand. So what did we do? We did. Brand we started is called Twizzy. Made an LLC. Literally the day we decided to do that, which was what, about a year and a half ago? Or summertime, around last year? This time last year, we literally, we always have so many ideas, so many different ideas. And they weren't getting put to use. We put them on the back burner. Literally, like, we talk every day. I was in a 9 to 6, 9 to 5. Okay, so I was done there, and we were basically, I'm like, okay, what can I do with my time? Since I already know I'm done, I'm going to a different journey. So we started brainstorming. We opened a Google Doc. Probably like, 1,000 cells, bro. Every day. Probably for like 3-4 months. And it's cool because we both had different connections. And I went to a lot of conferences, a lot like in Vegas, and there's like manufacturers there. Like, you know what, bro? I was like, if anyone was to do something, take a leap, especially into the fitness world, or just everyday, what would you call that? Just health and wellness. It's going to be us. It's something unique. So we started brainstorming. We got to the idea of Twizzy.
Yeah.
And that was actually, we were playing with a lot of different names, and he was like, Twizzy. And I was like, that's crazy.
Shit was crazy.
What do we do with that?
We was throwing random like ideas into a Google Doc, which is honestly a really good idea. Like I think we started off with like different things we could create, like protein fruit snacks, some shit. And we had like collagen fruit snacks, and we had eventually we was a protein soda. And that shit just clicked. So we
keep in mind we weren't together in person.
Yeah,
this was all over the phone, like all over text or on the Google Doc, typing, and literally he said, are we both clashing? Said protein soda, something like that. Like that's how, and that's where like, oh my god. So you're like, and like this is our whole point. When you get to a point where you know what you want and what you can do, literally any movement you have, whether it's as simple as calling someone and sharing your idea, that's where it starts. It's momentum. That's all it is. It's a game of momentum and following through. And like, we're at this stage right now where we finalized our samples, and like we're gonna have, a hard launch looking at end of May. So right now it's a matter of kind of building the brand, obviously while we're on here right now, and getting the word out before we actually really obviously pop off, and kind of establishing your audience on different socials. TikTok, right? Like we have all these different resources that we didn't have 10, 15 years ago that make it super accessible for you to be dynamite online, right? You don't have to go out there out your trunk and sell soda cans. You can go on TikTok live and sell out your minimum order, right? So like there's so many different things, but I think the biggest takeaway, I know you'd agree, is getting started and having someone who's just as excited as you are. There's months, there's days where, you know, he was like, he would have been a little off, I would have been a little off. Everyday life is catching up, but then all it took was a day or two, right? Or like a sign, and we're like, hold up, bro, we gotta finish this through. So, and it's usually around the spring for us, bro.
Yeah,
spring, summer.
I mean, there's a lot of shit going on, though. Like,
Yeah.
sort of jobs.
Yeah, like that. There was so much in between.
Yeah.
Literally,
But,
like think
we
about all
honestly,
that.
we're almost close to like not even going through drinks.
Yeah.
But you know, we have our third business partner, Chad. Chad helped us out a lot, bro.
Yo.
We're making this shit out the crib.
Don't even spell that, bro. They don't even deserve to know.
They don't know who Chad is, bro. Chad Smith. That's his name.
Chad Smith. Yeah,
He's
right.
our third business partner.
You're right,
We might meet him one day. His name's Chad Smith.
You're right.
And you know, he helped us out a lot with like just making the shit. We're making the shit out the crib. Basically, you know, just me and him. We got time lapses making the shit out the crib.
Think about that. Out the crib, like a protein. I don't even want to give all. I don't even want to.
How we got time was in it?
You want to? Wait, listen.
Ooh.
Ooh. What?
Yeah. So
I don't.
just keep it. We're making this out the crib, and we're excited about it.
Like for example, we have a manufacturer in North Carolina, and we did several trial samples. We did. We probably blew about 6 bands, 6,000 with him, and we didn't see much return. I'm not gonna lie, the very first sample that we ever got, this is what continued us to go, because I never tasted something so good. Like that was it, and like it had 10 grams of protein in it. It was a lemon lime flavor. It tasted like Sprite, except it had whey protein isolate. It was hydrolyzed, and honestly came out perfect. And we kept going because you need to test shelf life and like all this different stuff. Like end of the day, his communication wasn't there. And like I know it's hard being in different states and not being able to be at the the manufacturing facility, but he had bigger projects that seemed like that needed to be prioritized, and I get that. But when you have something like dynamite in your hand that could very well take off overnight, I think he's seen the vision. I just don't think that.
I don't think he was capable.
I don't think he was capable. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. I think it's as simple as that too. I agree. But there's so many logistics in there that you guys don't need to know. I think that the biggest thing is like people watching this. If you're like, I need to start this now. Like, I see this going to take off in a year or two. Someone told me, he's like, you have an idea? That idea should be 5 years from now. Now, really sunk in, because I think we realize the time lapse that we're headed, right? Of like, we're on this health, wellness, kick guru, collagen, adaptogens, all these different drinks and things like that. And I don't think we hit the dot when it comes to what we'll see in the next 3-5 years, and that's why we're taking action now. So it's like find your partner. Find your partner.
Or just do it by yourself. I mean, if you don't got nobody, you can do that shit by yourself. And
that too. And it's like if you have enough discipline to stay consistent with it, it's just I know a lot of people lack it when they need, because this generation just needs consistent motivation. But when you recognize that discipline is over motivation, then you're good. You're solid. But I mean, look, we're nowhere near perfection with that type of, actually having like the drink and stuff like that. But what I will say is we know we're capable of it. So that's why we're taking action. We're not scared to take the risk.
So you want some like Inky Johnson shit, bro?
Am I on?
Speaking.
Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah, but that's our TED Talk. I think we should talk about some cutting. Give a little 5-minute cut.
Nah, you can talk
Cut
about
video.
You
You know,
can
I'm gonna
talk.
throw that fiber
You gonna
in
start
there.
that Texas Roadhouse from last night in there
So
too.
close this out.